Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Welcome to the Fly With Us podcast. This podcast is bringing the art of conversation, self-love, self-care, mental health care and protection, life lessons, love lessons, and everything in between. Today's topic is service is self-care. I'm Lady Bounce.
And I am Ace Slate.
You and I had a sister date.
We did.
A service date, if you will.
We went out to hashtag lunch bag. Hashtag lunch bag was held. Who was it? It was Ashley Brown So Love was there, and who
in connection with Jordan Hockett and Miss Gina, and I never remember her last name because I always just call her Miss Gina because she's so fierce to me. But it was their idea, their brainchild. And this edition was sponsored by So Love, which is run by Ashley Brown.
Okay.
But in the past, they've been sponsored by other people. So they had one that was sponsored by a women's group I used to be a part of. They had one that was sponsored by Agnes All Natural Grill. Mm-hmm. And that's where it was held at. And we made the lunches there. Mm-hmm. It was awesome.
So I only heard of it in the last, 3 years. And I think you said you've been affiliated with it for...
I've done it 5 times now.
5. Okay. All right. But this time we were able to witness 505 sack lunches be made and put together. And we were at the table writing our personal messages of inspiration, our love. And I'm sure we had 505 plus some.
Yes, we did.
And all this was done in under 2 hours. It was about 11:25, about an hour and 25 minutes.
Yeah, it was about 11:25 when they announced, because at 11:20, remember, we stopped. They were like, let's pause, let's do a count. I think it's about 11:25. They were like, we're at 505 and the goal was 500. And we're all like, we still got bags to write on. I still got stuff in my head I need to write down.
I kept writing. I kept writing on the bags that was at the table.
Right.
So it was an awesome team of community that came out to help and get those lunches together and get those messages of inspiration. And then there was another team already ready to get out and deliver into the community.
Yes.
Now there was an overflow of lunches and food snacks and all these things that were left, and then there was able to do some more community service. So members of Fort McKinley church and community were able to come in and be fed as well. So that was awesome to be a part of. So we were able to network and fellowship with some other people.
I thought it was fun. And remember, I even told you when we were sitting there, I said, this is perfect for the ADD brain. Because there was music, there was movement. It was buzzing with activity.
Okay, well, Lady Bounce, most of the music was coming from you. Without a song quotes, we had to keep that going. But there was music playing as well. And I was in heaven just to be writing and writing. Like, come on. Let's put some poetry on these cards.
Well, as I think, I sat there and I thought about inspirational things, or, if I was in a position where I needed a sack lunch, what would I want someone to say to me?
Exactly.
And so then that's when, the Michael Jackson and You Are Not Alone.
And someone at the table was actually writing that
moment. That was Miss Anna.
Mm-hmm.
And she does a lot in our community. She, speaks for the immigrant community. Mm-hmm. And I didn't catch exactly where she's from, so I don't want to misspeak and say where.
What did I hear her say? I don't remember either.
But, she does a lot with the Afro-Cuban night at Hannah's. She had 3 different events yesterday as well.
Really?
Because remember, we saw her at the library.
We saw her at the library at the African dance.
Then she had an African dance thing going on at Wright State, sponsored by their...
that was what she was doing when she was going live.
Yes. And then she had another event that was at RSVP.
Wow.
That was also built around African dance.
Busy woman. And that was a lot of fun as well. That was a lot of fun.
I saw you getting your dance on at the library.
I just did a couple of steps. We don't move around like that. I was just happy to see my grandbaby. My grandbaby was having so much fun dancing in his chair. So he danced from his seat. But yeah, and that was another thing, to see how many young people were there participating, be it with their mentoring group or just be it with their family member. It was beautiful to see so many young people coming out to help and contribute there.
And young girls at that, because typically that narrative that, you know, black women, black girls don't get along and we can't do anything together. Looking at those two groups, baby.
Yes, we had Fearless Ladies. There was a group of Diamond Women. I
Yes,
think it was.
the Diamonds program.
Yeah, and then we had
like,
Deja out there. You know, she has her organization in the community. So many people out there coming together to do something great for the community. Definitely remember, service is self-care. So the feeling, how did it feel to be of service?
That's what I was about to ask you. As soon as you said, I was like, yeah, that's maybe my question right there. That's what I'm thinking about.
Feel?
But for me, it felt great. I think so often we get so caught up in the hustle and bustle of our lives and the stresses that our lives bring that we forget that there's somebody out there who would love to have our problems.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure that there's any one of those people that received a lunch yesterday would love to have a scheduling conflict. Oh, I got to pick up one kid and drop one kid off. I wish I had a car to even be able to do that. So when I'm thinking about how stressed out my life is or how overscheduled my life is, I'm like, there's somebody out there who probably wishes they had a schedule to keep in the first place. So in that regard, I was like, it minimized whatever I was thinking about and allowed me to get out of my own way and say, hey, you are doing this for someone else and you're doing it for the right reasons, not doing it for the fame or the recognition. You know, or
and I
you
just
did
love
something
you
great.
for that, because I'm just gonna say, because I know you're not gonna say it. You was not feeling 100%.
No.
You had your tea. Your husband made you some tea, and you came out. And I mean, just to see you in that room working and doing what you needed to do in love and light with great energy and positive spirit was a blessing to my spirit, girl. So thank you for doing that, pushing through.
And also, like the people that were at our table and even the table next to us. They had never been to one before. Yeah. So to be able to provide them with guidance in what they were supposed to do with the bag. So like, okay, well, what do we do with this? And do we write on the bag and in the bag? And having done it before and actually having worked all the different stations, I'm like, okay, well, at this station they're making cookies. At this one they're bagging chips.
I always wanted the
and
same
this one
station,
they're,
which is
right. And at this one they're bagging cookies. Where would you like to be? And then even for the young ladies at our table, for us to be able to provide them with encouragement to say, yes, hey, it's okay if you write the same message more than once. Yes, if that's what your spirit is telling you. I just really wanted to encourage them.
I was just so happy when I heard her talking. I'm like, well, asking her what her organization is and what do they do? What is she a part of? And she's sitting there. I said, well, why are you here? Other than that, why are you here? Why do you want to be a part of the Diamond Girls? And she said, well, and that's not the name. Their name is not Diamond Girls. I apologize. Yeah, all I remember is that they were diamonds and their shirt said diamonds.
Yeah, the shirt said the Diamonds program.
Yes, and then they actually, the one young lady sitting next to me actually was definitely writing some diamond material out there. She said that she was going to use her voice. She wanted to speak her voice, and that was what she was encouraging others to do, to speak their voice. And I thought that was beautiful coming from a young woman. For me, what serving did for me was definitely an opportunity, as cliche as it sounds, to give back, because I have been the person in need of. Yes. I've utilized our community resources such as pantries, and I've been the person to get food on that end, or other resources and supplies on that end. But I've also been the one to donate and give. So I've always wanted to take advantage of any opportunity to give back, and that's just a show of my gratitude. So that always feels good to even be in the position to be able to give back, especially when it's words. I can do that. I'm good at that. I'm here for that. I'm here to motivate and inspire. Yes. That's what I'm here for.
I would agree. Especially now, since we do have this platform for our podcast, that I believe we have to walk it like we talk. So if we're telling people to go out and do these things and to be a beacon of positivity in your community, then we have to do it.
If we're going to talk about it, we got to be about it.
Right. So I think we have to be visible. And in being visible, we had several people ask us about our shirts.
Yes, they did. They wanted it. Somebody
wanted a shirt. So we were able to, network with people and women especially, because so many women get so caught up in their roles and their titles as women that they forget the little things.
Yeah.
So spend 30 minutes and listen to two women who experience your same struggles tell you how they got over.
Yeah, or join in. You can tell us sometimes how we can get over. I'm no expert here on a lot of subjects that we talk about. I'm no expert, but that's what we're here for. We want to talk. We want you to fly with us. You could love yourself, but let's love each other too. Yes. So we want to communicate and get that message out. That's some more things that we can do in the community. Open up your mouth. Ask your sister. Ask your brother. How you doing?
Right.
How you doing? How you feeling?
And wait
you
for
need
the
help
response.
Cleaning that yard, right?
Wait for the response, because so often we go, "How you doing today?"
How you doing is like hi anymore. They don't really mean how you doing. That means hi. So how you doing? They keep on going. You're supposed to be able to understand that. No, I stops. I'm doing. and with that, on the flip side of that, if you're not okay, then say that. Oh,
because we're so conditioned. How you doing? I'm fine. No, you're not. Your whole world is falling apart.
Okay.
As you know it, your whole world is falling apart, and you just looked at somebody who could have helped, and if nothing else, giving you a word of encouragement. Yeah. So they could have helped you in that way, and you just looked at them and was like, "I'm fine."
So do yourself a favor. Be of some service to yourself. Be honest with yourself and with your feelings. Lady Bounce, I know that you're not a big fan of her, but I am. She has a song, I'm not okay, I'm okay, I'm not okay, I'm okay. You know, she's trying to figure that thing out. I like that song. It just made me think.
I'm going to have to look for that song because I haven't heard that song. But the two songs that I have heard, I'm just tired of hearing them. I think she can sing. I think she's talented. But I just need to hear something else other than, what I always hear.
She got some good stuff.
So, an example of that, the other day, Thursday, this is when I first started feeling under the weather. I refuse to claim that I am sick, although I have symptoms that a person would have when they are sick. I am not claiming that I am sick.
I know, yeah.
So on Thursday, my principal said, "How are you doing?" And instead of giving him the cliche fine, I said, "Well, I'm actually a little nasally. I'm a little congested, and my head kind of hurts." And so my student was like, "He did not ask you all that."
Okay.
And and to which I responded, he asked me how I was doing. And so I told him, and he said, "Well, you could have just said fine." I said, "But then that would be a lie."
Right.
And she's like, "So?" I said, "Well, that would be an unnecessary lie." So remember, we talked about lies. Lie to save your life for somebody else's.
I remember that.
Right. But we're not just going to lie for the sake of lying. Into which my principal interjected and said, "But I did want to know. I asked her how she was doing because she didn't look like herself. So I asked how she was doing." And I was like, "Dang, do I look bad? Do I have, my eyes puffy? What's going on? Like, do I look sick? Because I'm not claiming sick." But that is why he asked, "How are you doing?" And I'm like, I wonder if I had listed some other symptoms, was he going to tell me to go home? Because that would have been all
you gotta
stay
right
educate.
There. Stay educate.
That would have been the move right there. If he said, "Well, why don't you go home? Go."
I think that's a great idea. I think I will. Thank you. I think I will.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate you asking me.
Still with pay? Okay, right. Thank you.
Hello. Hello on the with pay.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, be honest with yourself. But I do love that you push through that moment. What are some other things that we can do and get involved in the community to keep our even our morale up, our mood even up? So I know one of the things that I do, because I live next to a historical monument or structure, I'll say. So I have a responsibility to keep the area clean. So one of the things I do, which people love to ride up the street, park in front of your house, throw out whatever is in the side of their car and just leave it in front of your house. Now, whoever you was visiting or wherever you was going, you couldn't put that in the bag and throw that away. So then I got trash all up and down the way. So I have to pick that up and keep that clean and still make sure that I pay my homage to this structure here and keep its cleanliness intact as well. So that's one of the things that I do. What's another thing that you do just in the community without, big platform, just something you just do?
Well, but aside from what I do, on my day job, which I consider that community service, because I give so much of myself to my students, I go above and beyond what my job title actually asks for and requires. So I consider that service out. I tell people in a minute, like, I don't teach special education. I teach students with special needs, or I serve students. And when I say I serve students, people look at me and go, what you mean you serve them? I serve my students.
Now I can understand that completely. Like in the workshops where I'm only in the workshops to facilitate, to show poetry and spoken word, but in getting honest poems out, you have to do a little bit more than just stand in front of a child and speak a poem. So you have to humble yourself. Definitely learn to speak their language and show them some other things. Like we got some planting going on in the classroom and healthy eating and all kind of things to be of service. But go ahead.
And then of course in my my husband and the Trunk Bell Regime, the TBR Lodge, they put on the Gym City Get Down 4 times a year.
We love it.
So as the first lady of the TBR Lodge,
come through first lady.
I not only help promote the events, but I look for different people to be recipients of the proceeds from the Get Down.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah, well, I know one year you did, was it Kiva?
They've done Kiva.org. They gave money to a family in Kettering who lost everything in a house fire. They've donated to hurricane victims. They've donated to the young lady who was hit by a car and lost her child as a result of being mangled in a horrible accident.
My God.
So, I mean, the list of people is it's as vast as the members of TBR Lodge. It's been individuals, it's been families, it's any way that we can be of service monetarily. We don't take any profits, from the get downs. People come and they have a great time.
Yeah.
Midway through the night, my husband is the host. So midway through the night, he'll give a total of like what's in the pot, And as soon as he announces it, it's almost like, I don't know, like something opens up and then people start going, I got $5 right here. I got another $1. And I'm like, you've already paid to get in. Your donation is already in the box. Your donation is already in the pot that's been announced, and you still want to give more. And that's amazing.
That's the vibe that's sitting there. That's the vibe that's moving in there. Yes, it is amazing.
It is. And I mean, I've seen people at the door, it's $3 to get in, and people go, keep the change.
I'm telling you, they gave the door man
a 20, and I'm going, wow, you just gave him a whole 20. Like, really? And they're like, yeah, just put that in the pot.
Kindness is contagious. I'll repeat that.
It is contagious, and it feels good. And I think it's really funny when we go to talk to people about, the get down, and they go, so how do y'all get paid? And when I say we don't, we don't keep any money. We don't take the money. So wait a minute, y'all doing all of this for free? People can't fathom,
right? Because
we're so used to take that we don't understand. You have to get.
Yeah, a lot of people think that. I know a lot of times when I would do certain events, say Riverview Park with Daryl Dalton, or the brother that just had a birthday, I can't call his name right now, at Riverview McIntosh Park, where they do the homeless shelter giveaways.
I DJ'd that homeless picnic one year.
These things, and they like, oh, well, you shouldn't do this if you're not getting paid. You're not getting paid. Trust me, I understand my gift, my craft, and I know what platform is for what, but what's on my heart to do pro bono, I'm definitely going to do it, because sometimes things are more than a paycheck. Yes. It's more than a paycheck. I know my gifts will make room for me.
And as a result, though, someone who saw you do spoken word at the same year that I DJ'd, immediately when you finished, came up to you and said, I have an opportunity. I want you to come to X, Y, and Z. And we'll pay you.
That's how that works.
And you're like, I really just came here to do my part for the community. And they're like, well, that's great, but let's talk money.
Exactly.
You understand? You have a gift. And I'm like,
I was just talking with a friend the yesterday evening about entrepreneurship and working and doing pro bono work and setting your prices. And that was one of the things that came up again. My gifts make room for me. And
Absolutely.
Then when you think about that, you realize, yeah, they do. Because sure, I've done this platform where I've gotten paid X amount of dollars, and that was nice. That was beautiful. But I'm doing this one from my heart, and to see this child smile, or to see this woman grab a journal and start writing, or to, see that, I mean, you can't put a price on that. you can't put a price on that. So, yeah, so it's plenty you can be doing in the community. I'm going to really throw this out here real quick. But Leroy Bean and Mariah at Baldwin Cafe,
yes.
One of the things that they are doing in the community, one of the few things, they're doing several things. But one of the things they do is they're doing the lit exchange. If you got some books that you're not using or you no longer are reading, drop them off to them. I think it's March 30th. They will be at the Montgomery County Library on Germantown. So you could do something as simple as write somebody a note. I mean, you can do things like this or read a book and share what you've learned. All these things are being of service and they can help you feel a little bit better. So what we got now? We got self-care assignment and our mindfulness minute. So the self-care assignment, do not forget we would not be here had it not been for our elders. Okay, do not forget where we come from. Something very simple. Even long after the mind is forgotten, love is always remembered. You can volunteer at a nursing home. And there are many ways to volunteer your time at a nursing home. You can work for the activities department, play games like bingo or charades with the residents. You can show movies once a week and bring popcorn, paint nails, or wash hair. Many volunteers find it very rewarding to spend time with the elderly. Find out how you can help today. Even if it's just dropping off some cookies or donating large print books. Give your time and care when you can. That's our self-care assignment.
And with that self-care assignment, when I worked at Cornell Heights, there's a nursing home right across the street. Mm-hmm. We would take our kids over and take socks. We would read to them.
Yes.
But our kids got the biggest kick out of sitting at their feet and listening to them tell stories.
Yes. There's so much to be learned from the stories that they share. So much.
Absolutely. And the people in the nursing home got just as much fulfillment from it, because some of them don't have visitors. They don't have any children. Their children may live somewhere else. So you might be that one to come sit at their feet, and that makes their day.
Yes, like the hashtag lunch bag. That was food given away, but there is food in conversation as well. No. So yes, feed yourself. Feed yourself or feed somebody. Our mindfulness minute is maintaining your neighborhood. Okay, we gotta not only just clean up our space, but we are reflections of what's around us. Okay, or what's around us is a reflection of who we are. In tough economic times, neighborhoods are facing the problem of blight, vacant lots, foreclosed homes, or abandoned property. They can become unsightly eyesores that drive down property values even further and make an area seem depressed and neglected. Get together with a few of your friends and spend a few hours doing some cosmetic work to maintain your neighborhood. Often the owners of these properties are elderly or have lost their jobs and just can't keep up. You can get permission from the owner before you do any type of work. You don't want someone calling the police on you while you're trying to do a good deed.
Right.
So be mindful of whose yard you clean. But yeah, that's our self-care assignment and our mindfulness minute. Now, where would we be if we didn't go over and dig a little bit deeper? Lady Bounce, what do you have for our brain science?
So for our brain science today, we've talked about the benefits of volunteering. So I'm going to give you the brain science behind it all. There's actual science to back up what we're talking about.
You know, it had to be a reason it felt so good.
So there are 4 quick ways. Volunteering connects you to others. We met a lot of great people yesterday. Yes, a lot of great people met us. Hello. Volunteering is good for your mind and your body. I don't know about you, but when I was there, I didn't think about my real life.
So you were definitely in the moment.
I was definitely in a moment. I did not think about the IEPs I have to write or the papers I have to grade. Exactly. I was definitely in that moment.
Exactly. I love it.
So it definitely counteracted the stress I was feeling for being behind on some deadlines.
Okay, but you know, I felt like light, so I was feeling amazing.
Volunteering can advance your career depending on what companies you work for. Some companies require it as a part of working for their company. Verizon has a program called Verizon Gives Back. And if you are not willing to be a part of Verizon Gives Back, guess what? You can't work for Verizon.
Wow. And And it helps high school kids as well.
Absolutely, because they have to have community service hours to graduate in the state of Ohio.
Yes.
And last but not least, volunteering brings fun and fulfillment to your life. So real quick, I know there's going to be, well, I can't because I got this. So let me tell you how to combat your I got this. I have limited mobility. Can I still volunteer? Absolutely. Yeah. People with disabilities or chronic health conditions can still benefit greatly from volunteering. In fact, research has shown that adults with disabilities or health conditions ranging from hearing loss to vision loss and heart disease or diabetes all show improvement in those conditions after they have volunteered. So you can read to a child, you can answer phones if you need something that sit down. We were at a station yesterday where we were able to sit down. There were a few stations where you could sit down. So it is possible to still volunteer no matter what. Then, I got kids, I can't volunteer. Check this out. And throw this nugget at you. Children watch everything you do.
Yes.
By giving back to your community, you'll show them firsthand how volunteering makes a difference and how good it feels to help other people and animals and enact change. It is also a valuable way for you to get to know organizations in your community and find resources and activities for your children and your family.
Yes, let them see you do it.
So the best ways to get started on volunteering is, what are you passionate about? What is something that you see that you want to change or something that you want to be different? You can get on Facebook and look up things in your community wherever you may live. Just type in community service in your zip code. You can Google that as well. The bottom line is, when it comes to volunteering, passion and positivity are your only requirements.
And that's what makes it fun and not work. Get busy, babies. Get busy, babies. SIS, service is self-care. Oh, that care is in there. I am A. Slate.
And I'm Lady Bounce. Thank you for flying with us today. We'll catch you next week.
You can email us at
FlyWithUsLA@gmail.com.
Or you can find us on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/fly_with_us.
Or find us on Facebook for your self-care assignment every day. And thank you for the people who did reach out and give us feedback that you have been doing the self-care assignments every day. That is beautiful. We'll keep posting them as long as you keep doing them.
So we hope to see you out in the community. Until next time, peace.
Peace.